I've noticed that the more gratitude we express, the happier we feel. Have you noticed that? I've also noticed that the Irish language is a champion language for expressing gratitude and appreciation. And finally, I've noticed with great joy for many years that scholars writing in the Irish language often express so much gratitude and affection for those who have helped them and those with whom they've worked. And I just love that. So today I want to share a couple examples of Irish language scholarship, appreciation, and affection. I want to share with you a number of beautiful Irish expressions of gratitude that you can learn to enlarge your own storehouse of gratitude expressions. And I also want to invite you to play with these ideas in a couple of special ways. So I think it's all worth doing because when we express that gratitude, not only do we feel happy, but we also feel a sense of belonging and connection. So I think it's really worth digging into this. Plus, Irish just gives us so much. So, Fáilte a Chairde, welcome, my friends. I'm so glad to be with you today. And I want to say at the outset, I truly appreciate you. I'm really delighted that we're together. My name is Kate, and like everyone here, I am a multi-passionate creator. I love to do so many things, and I'm also a professor of Irish language and folklore. And I love the way that Irish tradition and creative living come together and help us live lives of creativity and joy. So that's what we're all about. So I want to share with you just two examples from many, many, in which Irish language scholars express their really love and appreciation for the people that they've worked with. First, I'm going to bring you into this book, Sean O'Connell's book. This is originally in Irish, but I'm going to read you just a passage. So the collector of Sean O'Connell, a great storyteller from County Kerry, James de Largy was a young man. He was a young man from County Antrim in the north when he first went and met Sean O'Connell in 1921. And he collected stories and lore for 14 years, 1921 to 1935. And during that time, he came to know Sean, the storyteller, and Sean's wife, Kate, very well, and came to love them so much. And the result is this wonderful book, and as you can see, it's absolutely brimming with folklore. So I'm just going to read you just the end, and you can get a sense of the affection. And again, I don't think we see this exactly in English, not quite as effulgent, you could say, not quite as wholehearted. And I just love that. So James says, but for the esteem Sean O'Connell had for his oral traditional literature and the delight and pride he had in dictating to me, this book would not exist. As he says himself in the account which follows, the only reward he wanted was a prayer. I hope this work will perpetuate Sean's memory among the Irish, and that everyone who reads it will say a prayer for him and for the old storytellers from whom he got his stories. Even that we should say a prayer of gratitude is beautiful. Anyway, just a little bit more. Sean O'Connell died on the 21st May 1931. His wife, Cach ní Chóráin, survived him by 4 years. She had almost lost her sight, and she was bent with rheumatism and age. But when I last saw her, she had the same welcome for me as on the first day. I knew that afternoon, the 12th September 1935, I would not see her again. She died on the following St. Stephen's Night, 1935, aged 77 years. She and her husband are buried in the same grave in Monastervichel by the shore in Ballinskellig. Cach ní Chóráin and Sean O'Connell were a noble pair. God grant eternal rest to their souls. So you just get a sense from that how beautiful the bond was that they had built over all those years of talking and listening. And it's rare, I think, to find such a wholehearted and unapologetic expression of gratitude. Now, I want to share with you another book that the collection was done at about the same time. This is Heinrich Becker, Emil Nafarga, in the Mouth of the Sea, and it's all about, believe it or not, seaweed. Heinrich Becker was a young German scholar who went to Ireland just before the Second World War and was set to be collecting, and was in fact living with an Irish family when the war broke out. And a notice was sent round to every German in the country, especially around Belfast, that they would have to leave the country. I'm going to read a little bit of this to you in Irish, because just so you can hear a little bit. So just to set it up, so here was Heinrich, who was young and pretty poor, as you are when you're young, and really thrown off. And he had to go to his landlord's sister, and say that he didn't think he'd be able to pay the rent, pay the rent. And this is what she said: Beard a dúirt díireh your father, nuair dinis me do nach men an key sa íoc leis. So this is what Pater's sister said when I told her that I wouldn't be able to pay the rent. Joe a dúirt she, chushégin sin an tanna mahogu shiorum egoni. So Joe, she said, and that's for some reason the name that she always called me by. This is the important part. Na biach imri biort. Don't worry at all. Ní ag her ochras biort an adis avas an atas a chachagan. You won't go hungry. We won't leave you hungry as long as we have a single potato in the house. Fiadr harve griulam. They were so gracious and generous to me, and everything so scarce at the time. May God repay them for that. So much love and affection, and may God repay them. So that is an expression of gratitude that I wanted you to have. So I've got this for you, and I'm copying it below. So if you're interested in seeing the Irish, you'll be able to see it in the notes. So your basic thank you is go ramayagat, and some of you will be saying go ramahagat, which is the southern way, but the northern way is go ramayagat, which is literally may there be good at you, may you have good. So when somebody gives you something, go ramayagat, thank you. And then you can up the ante by saying, go to céad maith, 100 thanks to you. Or go to míle maith, 1,000 thanks to you. Or if you really want to go for it, go to céad míle maith, 100,000 thanks to you. But the simple one, go to maith, will do. Now there's a lot of other ways that you can express thanks, and I just wanted to share some of these with you. You're expressing thanks either directly or, in this case, with a blessing. So if somebody's done something nice for you, go méidi diachu or go méidi dia the store. So may God increase your store, or may God prosper you, is really what that means. Like, may you have prosperity through God for that. Goguchi dia late, that's kind of what Heinrich said, may God repay you for it. Gowaga dia the lanchagat. I love that one. May God leave you your health. So if somebody has just done you a favor, you can obviously say go to Maigat, but you can say Gawaga Gia the Flanjagat. May God leave you your health, which of course I think is the most valuable thing we have. Now these are so beautiful, two that I love. To say thank you, you can also say Fanya or Ort, which means a ring of gold on you. Tuck that away, because I'll be asking you to play with that later. Fanya or Ort, and then a really simple one that I think I'd love to invite everyone watching to learn this, and it is simply Sonus Ort. Sonus Ort. Happiness on you. May you be happy. So somebody's done you a favor, Sonus Ort. May you be happy. So instead of saying thank you, may you have good, you're saying may you be happy. So I love those. Then there's a whole category of things, of ways to express your gratitude and gratefulness. So buíochas is gratitude, buíochas. And the word just grateful is buíoch. So a bunch of these. To say, give him my best thanks. I just love this. Torma vila buíochas do. Give him my 1,000 thanks. Give him my 1,000 thanks. Now we say this all the time. Buíochas le dia, buíochas le dia. Thanks be to God. The crisis was averted. Buíochas le dia. It's a lovely day. Buíochas le dia. Just thanks be to God. To express heartfelt thanks, and this is one that Heinrich used. B'wailam buíochas ó chrí a gholat. B'wailam buíochas ó chrí a gholat. I want to convey buíochas ó chrí, thanks from my heart, gratitude from my heart. I want to convey my heartfelt gratitude to you. And so this agol, well, we'll talk a little bit more about that. So I'm truly grateful to you. Ta me fear vuach diet, fear vuach, which is truly grateful. Ta me fear vuach diet. I'm exceedingly grateful to you. Ta me harave vuach diet. I'm exceeding, over the top, grateful to you. B'wailam mavuyachas aroalat. I want to convey my gratitude to you. Now, that uses that same verb, go, G-A-B-H, which is a million things. If you have access to a dictionary, look it up and you'll be amazed. But G-A-B-H. And so to say, goam buyachas, I convey my gratitude. But I also thought you might like this. This comes from Father Deneen, whose dictionary I admire passionately. Goam eigsha. Literally, I take up poetry. I hope you'll do that too. Take up gratitude and take up poetry. To say that someone is well liked, this is a nice little saying, tagach erachenya buekte, which literally means everyone is grateful to him. He's well liked. Just think about what that means. That means that you're living in a way that you're helping. You're living in a way that you're spreading happiness and joy. You're doing things. You're doing things that bring joy, that bring happiness. That's all really. But it's a beautiful way to live, and it's a beautiful thing to say that everyone is grateful to him, and he's well liked. Finally, I just thought you might like to know Thanksgiving Day. Now, this is a made-up kind of, since in Ireland there is no Thanksgiving Day. But there's a word altu, A-L-T-U, Father, which means thanksgiving, like the noun, a giving of thanks. And so La Altahi, which is a day of Thanksgiving, La Altahi. So La Altahi Sana, happy Thanksgiving, that will do for you. And this just, you have altu, and alti is the verb, which means to give thanks. Matarud agat altie. Matarud agat. If you have something, give thanks for it. If you're lucky enough to be prosperous in some way, give thanks. So I love all of that. So let me ask you this. Out of all these expressions, what are your favorites? And what do you think you might take on? Again, I think Sonnesort is a really good one for anybody to take on because it means may you be happy, and it's not hard to say, and it's fun to say. So that's the first part. The second part is I'd like to invite you to make one of these gratitude blessings. You saw a lot of them. May God reward you or increase your store. May God repay you for it. May God leave you your health. All of these, may this happen for you. So may you have, may you be blessed, may you be rewarded, and you can use God, the universe, life, beauty, nature, whatever. If you want to put a subject in there, may life reward you richly. I'd love it. Please fill the chat below, the comments below, with first the ones that you want to keep out of this list. And again, I'm going to put them below for you. And then second, let's make some. So may you have, or may you, or may life, or may God, or may the universe, whatever, make some up. Let's get the good feeling going. It's so good to express gratitude. The more gratitude we express, the more connected we feel. We're in this beautiful, warm web of connection and kindness. And I think it really helps us flourish. I think it really helps all of us. And amazing, isn't it? We used to call it say the magic words, and that was thank you. And they really are magic words, because sometimes someone has done something for us, they don't even realize we have taken in that it was a help to us, or a blessing, or a courtesy, or just something a little above the basic or the ordinary. And that deserves our attention. And the more we give our attention to that, I think the happier we feel, and the happier we can make those around us. So I hope you take that on. I can't wait to see what you'll put in the comments. I want to say to you how deeply grateful I am to each of you for your presence and for the fun we're having together. Thank you. So please give this video a thumbs up. I am truly grateful for that. May God increase your store. And if you haven't, join our little community here by subscribing, commenting, liking, all of those things. Thank you, my friends. And I hope you have a week that makes you feel grateful and connected. I'll see you next week.